not going to dwell too much on things that could potentially bother people, but then again, I'm a hooligan who supports beat, so I'll just say that. Very low level hooligan. I haven't joined yet. He has enough of my money. But again, this is like too wet, I think. Alright. But yeah, back to that great mix of Tommy. It's like, where has that been? Because, you know, you get the... I actually heard it on record for the first time. Had a record for the longest time. Didn't know anything else. Way back in junior high. Didn't really know anything else about them. We just happened to have a copy of Tommy. When I have Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We give you the world's worst introduction to the Beatles and the Bee Gees on the same album. Except I do have to say I like Sgt. Pepper Movie's version of Lucy in the Sky. That is kind of a nice mix. But you got to be open to a lot of things. And I said these, I've seen some of my other videos, the editing I've done. And you don't think I'm Nutcracker the Damned or working on some of these BG flips and stuff. You just have a cup of coffee in the morning. I got too much. I gotta actually say, you can see Chip the. You see the lips are a little more even now, and it's just getting right in here. This little structure right on his chin without. Losing. I'm doing it. That's kind of working. See, a little bit wet, but not too wet. And there's like this wonderful lip thing going on here. Robert Plant song is on right now. You can show me a video or a movie that any member of Led Zeppelin is in. Would they look natural? I owe you a Coke. So you see the song remains the same. About 2.5 of those fantasy sequences just kind of lay there like this is an expression I love, like a board hooker. John Bonham got his right. I'm gonna say about a good half of Jonesy's came out okay. Ooh, that does not look good on this side. Might need to be filled in when it gets a little drier. But yeah, it's like you're looking at it and you're going, is that it? Okay, how much? Yeah, what were we smoking when we thought of this, and did we bring enough for everybody? Legitimate question. Keith, did you bring enough to share? Okay. Let that mouth sit for a little while. The eyes are probably dry enough to work. Yeah, and work this shape a little bit. Yeah, I'm just... modeling paste is a godsend. It's like doll frosting. That eyebrow's kind of collapsing in itself here. starting to think that Mr. Robert Plant's songs sound alike. I've got Raising Sand, and I've got his new one, Band of Joy. I don't watch too many of his videos. I've seen a couple of them, and it's like, if you've seen Sea of Love, what in the world were we not thinking? It's like Golden Age of music videos. You gotta wonder, do we go in here? Do we go in any of these with concepts? I've seen higher concepts in a Julian Lennon video. I'm talking the Peck and Paw ones. Alright. A little bit of this. Part of the leftover. This eyebrow. Yeah, that really, really dates me, kids. I go back to when Julian Lennon first came out. But you know that music, I think I crushed his die. Music gets better. My first Julian Lennon album was The Secret Value of Daydreaming. That the Monkeys. I'd have to think Mickey Dolenz. The time back when I was working, I was seat filler. And, I'll just leave it at that. My urge to kill was rising. Urge to kill some arsehole teenagers. It's one of those long days where I didn't know, about 2 or 3 sessions. And I was just, one of those days where you're sitting there. Some sitcom to remember. If I thought about it, I could remember what show it was, but long story short. Sight of Mickey Dolenz down there on the floor, because he's into production and all that. Lifted my spirits so much that day. Brought me back to one of the few times I'm not taking my repress forward in my childhood. I read somewhere that high school and junior high teaches you nothing more than to socialize, and if that's true, I failed miserably. I went to 3 junior high schools. I don't want to name them. Don't want to remember you people burn in hell. Dropped out of high school after the first quarter. All these years later, I have absolutely no desire to look up anyone there. There are a couple people that were okay, or, this bitch who I do. Proper use of the word. Remind me every day, one of those, go out of her way to bother me. And I hope that was the last time she could see her toes. She just... you look back on it with adult sensibilities, and you have to think how miserable was her life that she had to go out of her way to make someone else's life miserable. And his eyes looking a little too wet again. Stick, stick, stick. But you have to, people like that, why are you wasting energy that could be spent doing anything remotely constructive? But no, you have to go out of your way. There are people on YouTube, you have to go out of your way to leave a disparaging comment about somebody's video. As if A, you think you're, the comment police, and B, that other people can't be trusted to make up their own minds, and their own opinions. I've dealt with a couple of them. That's why every single video I do, I have to improve the comments on. Because otherwise, aside from the spammers, don't want this mouth to collapse in on itself. You have to deal with people. Art's subjective, I'm not making these for you. This is my Raj. This gets me. I had it. There we go. Come on, get the teeth in there. But yeah, he's my Roger. He's making me happy. He's not, what in the world did this little doll, do to set you off, do to upset you in your little world. I write too, and the people like that gave me, I think I created what could go down as one of the most disgustingly hateable, wonderfully hateable, I should say, characters ever. That you just love to hate. So I have a couple of the dolls I do. Even dolls need a village idiot, someone that everyone can look down on and feel good about themselves. Even Keith. Reading the Keith Moon Dear Boy biography right now, and wow. There we go, Raj. If they ever can find anyone who can do that part justice, it's that poor fellow, and you feel for his wife and his daughter Mandy. I might just leave it at that. His mouth. It's one of those times, starting to wonder, am I going to hurt him? This should be there. Good enough. Alright. It just looks... It just because the lighter stuff is wet. Better pick up the rack. So I do his hair, I'm going to need to put him on the rack. The thing I cut off the bottom of his nose because it was not quite... It wasn't quite about sitting right. Again with another Robert Plant song. I mean, my playlist, good 12 gigs. Yes, 12 gigs, just the playlist. That's not all the music, just the playlist. Ended up 4.5 days. Never hear the same song twice. Till you discover how many versions of In the Morning the Bee Gees did. Yeah. Of course, we'll start collecting versions of Kashmir. Album version, Page and Plant, unleaded version, Happy Osaka version, Roger Daltrey and Ann Wilson version. Now it's kind of interesting. Roger did rather good take on Kashmir. See, I got a little space between his nostrils. That's what I had to fix. It was kind of interesting to hear it as a duet. It's a British rock symphony. And I nice to find out there's a DVD to that. Gotta look into more of this stuff. I listened to some of the samples, not my cup of tea for a version of Brick in the Wall. But I'd like to hear more Simon Townsend. He's got a lovely, lovely voice. You have that Quadrophenia DVD that The Who put out, the concert version. Get the 3-disc set. You're going to want that 3rd disc. Where'd it go? I just had a piece. I dropped it. But Simon plays the bus driver. So stick a little bit up here when you need to just pull some off. And he does